Bioshock 2 takes place roughly 10 years after the events of the first game in this, decaying underwater city. You take the role of a prototype Big Daddy, this kind of bodyguard in an antique diving suit who was charged long ago to protect a little sister character who is kind of critical to the ecology of the place. And now, 10 years later, he awakens to find the city changed. It's been seized by a woman named Dr. Sophia Lamb, who is kind of an altruist gone wild. And he is crossing the city to find his former little sister, who is promising him escape, and is drawn into conflict with just the nightmares of the city along the way.
This is Dr. Sophia Lamb with a message for the people. Remember, you are not alone.
He's got the bomb.
Nuts. You saved a whole kindergarten full of cutesy little brats.
I think originally there was some fear that playing a Big Daddy would make you slower or sort of less agile than first-person shooter play kind of demands. But we focused instead on the strength of the Big Daddy. You play sort of a more human-shaped prototype model who is able to use plasmids, the genetic powers that make the game sort of about pulling off cool combinations. And beyond that, as a Big Daddy, they seem to have been responding to the relationship with the little sisters. You have a very strong kind of father-daughter bond with them. And you have to decide how to react to the trust that they immediately afford you. The new antagonist of Bioshock 2 is Dr. Sophia Lamb. She is kind of in many ways Andrew Ryan's philosophical opposite, meaning she is an altruist of the deepest kind. And she's based on sort of John Stuart Mill and some of the other thinkers of his time, which believe in the greater good and will promote it above all their own personal concerns. She's taken that to an extreme and terrifying degree. She kind of views people as numbers, and the player as the ultimate individual comes into conflict with her because of this difference of belief. In Bioshock 2 in particular, we have invested in bringing those choices not just to the kind of gameplay, the traditional kind of choices that you make in a video game where you're growing your character toward a play style that you prefer, but also you're shaping the story in a much more radical way than the original allowed. This time around, you are encountering not just little sisters, but this sort of live, morally gray citizens of Rapture that have a pretty unique philosophical position, and you have to decide how to treat them, and all of that shapes the way that the story plays out.
Dead ball.